I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
But you'll have bad times. It will always wake you up to the good stuff you weren't paying attention to.
We think too much and feel too little.
Well, I think life is precious because you can't watch it again. I mean, you can believe in an afterlife if that makes you feel better. Doesn't mean it's true. But once you realise you're not going to be around forever, I think that's what makes life so magical.
I'm going to show you how to become a millionaire. All you need is to have one thing that you can get $10 for. I don't care if it's cutting hair, cutting grass, painting, babysitting, typing papers, walking dogs. I don't care what it is. Just get somebody to give you $10. All I want you to do is do it and get $10. After you get the $10, I want you to do it 10 more times. That's all. You have $100. Now, when you get that $100, whatever you did to get the $100, I want you to do it 10 more times. You're going to have $1,000. Now, you get a little tricky now. Whatever you did to make the $1,000, listen to me close. What I want you to do is do it 10 more times. That's what I want you to do. Don't change shit. Just do it 10 more times. You'll now have $10,000. Now, this is where you got to start using your faith. After you make $10,000 with this $10 idea, all I want you to do is do it 10 more times. Just 10, whatever you did to make the 10,000, do it 10 more times. You're going to have $100,000. Here's the trick of tricks. Once you make $100,000, you're going to have to hire a few people. And all I want you to do after you make the $100,000, same thing you did to make the $100,000, I just want you to do it 10 more times. Congratulations. You are a millionaire.
Work like hell. I mean, you just have to put in, 80 to 100 hour weeks every week. If other people are putting in 40-hour work weeks and you're putting in 100-hour work weeks, then even if you're doing the same thing, you know that in 1 year you will achieve what they achieve. You will achieve in 4 months what it takes them a year to achieve.
Let's say you want something really bad, and you keep trying, and you keep trying, and you keep trying, and on the 10th try, you don't get it still, and then you say, okay, it must be a sign that I need to stop doing what I need to do. But what if you didn't know that on your 11th try, you would have made it? You would have made it happen and got what you wanted to get. So I feel like persistence is important, because if you really, truly love something, and you truly believe, you should just do it for the love, and you don't get to where you're going, you still were doing something you love. So persistence is very important, for sure.
During an interview with Bill Gates, a female news anchor asked him a question. Can you define the secret of your success in one word? Then instead of answering that news anchor, Bill Gates took out a checkbook from his pocket, gave a blank check to that female news reporter, and asked her to fill the amount she needed. The news anchor got nervous and said, "No, sir, it is not like this. Maybe you did not understand my question." And then the news anchor asked the same question in a different way. But this time also, Bill Gates again gave that blank check in the hands of the news anchor and said, "I will really sign it. Just write the amount you want in this check." The interview was live on TV. That's why the new anchor refused to accept the check. Then Bill Gates tore the check and said only one sentence. "This is the secret of my success. I never miss an opportunity like you just did. If you wanted, you could have become the world's richest news anchor in an instant, but you missed the chance." And this is also true, because some people believe that Bill Gates had not invented anything special. The basic program and operating system were the ideas of someone else. Bill Gates just observed the pattern and kept adding it. There will be a rain of opportunities in life. Learn to connect the dots just by observing the patterns.
Best advice you ever received?
A man named Rich told me once in Diamond Bar. I'm in the corner, I'm looking at everybody. Everybody's having dinner and there are these tables. I pull Rich aside. I said, "Rich, give me the one best advice. I want one above everything." And he said, "Look at everybody here. They're all going to read just a few books and learn a few quotes, a few titles, a few stories to tell from the books they read. And once they make 100, $250,000, they're going to slow down. If you keep out improving these guys consistently, eventually none of these guys will be your competitors." And he was absolutely right. I took self-improvement to a whole different level based on what he told me. It became an obsession, and I noticed, you know what? He was right.
Now let me give you the secret.
She'll say, here's the secret, Mr. Rohn. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Once I got that, it turned my life around. He said, if you work hard on your job, you'll make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. If you would have known me at age 25, you would have said, Jim Rohn's a hard worker. If you'd have known me, you'd have said that. You say, well, how come he's got pennies in his pocket and nothing in the bank and behind on his promises? Well, I was a hard worker, but I was working hard on my job, not on myself. I'm telling you, if you'll learn that simple little principle and start the process today, latest tomorrow, I'll give you tonight to think it over, and start working on the inside. Work on your philosophy, work on your attitude, work on your personality, work on your language, work on the gift of communication, work on all of your abilities. And if you'll start making those personal changes, I'm telling you, everything will change for you.
When a 60-year-old billionaire was asked how he became one, he said, "Rule number 1, if you don't come from a rich family must come from you. Rule number 2, forget about the girls and focus on one woman. She will help you achieve everything. Rule number 3, you will never be criticized by someone who is doing more than you. You will only be criticized by someone who is doing less than you. Rule number 4, a winner is just a loser who tried one more time. Rule number 5, people get really mad when you don't let them use you. Rule number 6, never post your achievements, post stupid stuff and jokes so they'll think you have no future. People hate progress. Rule number 7, when you become lazy, it's disrespectful to those who believe in you. Rule number 8, 6 months of hard work, consistency, focus, and discipline can change your life forever.
No risk, no Ferrari. Start taking risks. You want this? Take risks.
Every day is day one. Every day you're deciding what you're going to do, and you are not trapped by what you were or who you were or any self-consistency. Self-consistency even can be a trap. And so day one thinking is we start fresh every day and we get to make new decisions every day. That idea, unless you know a better way, is so important because you never want to get trapped by dogma. You never want to get trapped by history. It doesn't mean you discard history or ignore it. There's so much value in what has worked in the past, but you can't be blindly following what you've done. And that's the heart of day one, is you're always starting fresh.
Let me tell you a secret. No one does when they begin. Ideas don't come out fully formed. They only become clear as you work on them. You just have to get started. Be prepared to be misunderstood. Anyone working on a big vision is going to get called crazy, even if you end up right. Anyone taking on a complex problem is going to get blamed for not fully understanding it, even though it's impossible to know everything up front. Anyone taking initiative will always get criticized for moving too fast, because there's always someone who wants to slow you down. Facebook wasn't the first thing I built. I also built chat systems and games, study tools and music players, and I'm not alone. J.K. Rowling got rejected 12 times before she finally wrote and published Harry Potter. Even Beyonce had to make hundreds of songs to get Halo. The greatest successes come from having the freedom to fail.
Now this is worth the price of whatever it costs for you to be here today. Here it is. Success is something you attract. Success is not something you pursue. It's something you attract by becoming attractive. And the whole scope of this we call now personal development. You can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are. If you can multiply your value by 3, by 5, you can easily multiply your income by 3, by 5, by 10. But the key to doing it is to work hard on yourself.
I became a millionaire at 23, and if I could give you 3 pieces of advice, it would be, number 1, don't buy dumb shit. Wait on the fancy car, wait on the fancy watch, and definitely don't buy luxury clothing items till you have at least $100,000 in savings or investment. Number 2, spend your 20s building your skill set and your personal brand, because that will be paramount to success later and make your life a lot easier. And number 3, if you're going to buy your first piece of real estate, don't make it a personal home. Buy a duplex or a quadplex and let the tenants pay your mortgage. You get the capital appreciation and you win in the long run.
I want to talk about dreams for a second. And in my case, literally a dream. It was kind of a strange dream. It went like, I think I could download the entire web onto some old computers that were lying around. That would probably seem pretty crazy to most people, but I stayed up a couple hours in the middle of the night doing some math, and it seemed actually pretty plausible, and that became Google. I'd like to encourage everyone to follow their dreams.